Today's episode of the More You Know podcast is brought to you by CrowdQuestion, a brand new social communication platform focused on connecting crowds to bring everyone closer to their community, as well as enhancing any occasion. Rather than being a social media platform focused on content and advertising, they're focused on communication and connection. Learn more about the platform and download the app free at crowdquestion.com.
I'm just trying to make it all make sense.
Today's
More
You
No
podcast.
Today I want to share Pappy Gunn's story of significance. He was born in Quitman, Arkansas in 1899. Gunn enlisted in the Navy prior to America's entry in the First World War, and eventually served as an aircraft mechanic while learning to fly on his own time. He then re-enlisted in 1923, being selected as a naval aviation pilot, an enlisted United States naval aviator. Here he served in the Top Hatters, which was one of the Navy's oldest fighter squadrons. After that, he served as a flight instructor at NAS Pensacola, and then retired from the Navy in December of 1939 after 21 years of service. From there, he helped start Philippine Airlines using only 5 privately owned Beechcraft airplanes. He was operating a civilian air freight operation in the Philippines at the start of World War II, which he then got into. He flew evacuation missions for U.S. military personnel out of Japanese-held territory. This was done on a volunteer basis before being directly commissioned into the U.S. Army Air Forces. From here, Gunn provided amazing service in World War II. He was awarded a Distinguished Flying Cross for flying an unarmored airplane to bring medical supplies to besieged troops in Bataan. Then in April of 1942, he flew a B-25 on the Royce mission to the Philippines, a mission that was originally intended to bring relief to U.S. forces on Bataan. Shortly after that, General George C. Kenney, the new commander of the Allied forces in the Southwest Pacific Theater, arrived in Australia in the summer of 1942. He found Gunn converting the A-20s of the 3rd Bombardment Group into strafers by adding 4 50-caliber machine guns to the Havoc's noses. When he learned that Gunn was using weapons from wrecked fighters, he was impressed by Gunn's innovative abilities, placing the old Navy aviator on special projects. Shortly after that, the converted A-20s proved highly successful in low-level strikes against Japanese and New Guinea, and from here, General Kenney gave Gunn the go-ahead to convert a squadron of B-25s into similar strafers. These A-20s and B-25s played a pivotal role in the Allies' victory over New Guinea, which was one of the most crucial battles to win in the South Pacific. This contribution led to Gunn being highly decorated, being awarded with a Silver Star, Legion of Merit, Air Medical, and 9 Purple Hearts. After winning the war, Gunn returned to rebuild Philippine Airlines. He then died crashing his plane in a storm over the Philippines in October of 1957. No matter who you are, how old you are, what position you're in, or what experience you have, you can use your mind mixed with effort to make amazing contributions, and by doing so craft a life of significance. I hope this talk makes a positive impact in your life. Please subscribe to the podcast wherever you are listening or watching it. Check out other episodes. Leave a review. Follow the podcast on social media at More You Know Pod, and sign up for CrowdQuestion to ask me questions about the episode. Again, thank you for listening as we propel through podcasting with the More You Know.
I'm just trying to make it all make sense.
Today's
More
You
No
podcast.